I wasn't supposed to be driving her that night. That's the part one keeps circling back to. It was her book club, or so I thought, and her car was in the shop for a tire alignment. She asked me if I could drop her off and pick her up later. I remember she kissed my cheek as she slid out of the car, one heel catching on the mat. I teased her, said she looked too dressed up for a night of discussing thrillers over wine. She laughed, said it was a special author visit. I didn't think twice. Why would I? It was late when I picked her up. She slid into the passenger seat with a yawn, smelled faintly of something citrusy, not her usual perfume. She said she was tired. I said nothing. We drove home in comfortable silence, or what I believed was comfortable. I only noticed the purse the next morning. I was heading to work, grabbed my laptop bag from the back seat, and there it was, her red leather purse, the one I bought her for our anniversary 2 years ago. It sat crookedly, like it had been tossed in a hurry. She must have forgotten it. I thought about just dropping it on the kitchen counter. But something, maybe intuition, maybe foolish curiosity, made me open it. I wish I could tell you I was searching for her car keys or trying to be helpful. But if I'm honest, I was looking because something felt off. The letter was folded neatly, tucked between a compact mirror and a packet of gum. Not in an envelope, just loose, like it had been read more than once. My name wasn't on it, but my brother's was. I stared at it for a long time. My thumb traced the edge of the fold, and for a moment, I just sat there. The car door was still open. Morning light crept in through the windshield. Then I read it. It was short, tender, familiar in a way that knocked the air out of my lungs. Phrases like, "I've never felt this alive," and "You make me forget the world," spilled across the page in her handwriting. I know her writing like I know her voice. There was no mistaking it. She ended it with his name. Not love, not even yours. Just him. I folded it back exactly how I found it, put everything in place, zipped the purse shut, and carried it inside like I was holding a grenade. She was in the kitchen making coffee, humming a tune she always hummed when she felt guilty. It hit me then. I'd heard that song before. The week after my brother crashed at our place for 2 nights. The same song she sang when she burned dinner and blamed it on being distracted from work. I didn't say anything. I left the purse on the entryway table like nothing happened. Kissed her on the forehead like I always did. Then I drove to work and sat in the parking lot for nearly an hour, gripping the steering wheel, trying not to scream. What do you do when the 2 people closest to you become strangers overnight? I didn't call my brother. Didn't confront her. I went about my day, answered emails, smiled during meetings. My heart was drowning in cement, but I told no one. That night, after she fell asleep, I took the letter and scanned it. Printed 2 copies. I mailed one to her, and one to him. No note. No explanation. Just the letter. I didn't want answers. I wanted silence to speak for me. And in that silence, I began to see everything I'd missed. The way she used to light up when he walked into a room. The late-night family talks they used to have on the porch while I cleaned up inside. The weird energy at Christmas last year when I left the 2 of them alone for 10 minutes and came back to find them awkward and distant. It had been there. I just didn't want to see it. She never mentioned the letter. Neither did he. But things changed after that. She got quieter, more careful. My brother stopped calling altogether. The betrayal didn't explode. It eroded. Slowly. Quietly. Like rust under paint. And I began to wonder, how long had they been chipping away at me behind the scenes? It was the way she looked at me the next morning that told me she knew. Not with fear, not with panic, but with a strange kind of softness. Like someone petting a dog they'd already decided they couldn't keep. She made pancakes. She never makes pancakes unless she's trying to fix something. They were too perfect, golden brown, syrup ready, strawberries cut in little hearts like she used to do when we were first dating. I ate them. Every bite felt like betrayal in reverse. We didn't speak about the letter. We talked about weekend plans, about our neighbor's new fence, about a movie she wanted to watch. But her eyes kept flickering to my face, searching for something. Maybe anger. Maybe forgiveness. Maybe just the man she used to know. She wouldn't find him. That night, I stood in the garage with a beer in my hand, staring at the shelf where I used to keep a box of things my brother gave me over the years, signed baseballs, old Polaroids, a watch he bought me when I got promoted. I took the box down, carried it to the trash bin, and dumped it without ceremony. I didn't cry. Not for him. I grieved differently for her. Because loving someone who betrays you isn't something you switch off. It lingers. It digs into your ribs and whispers, Maybe it was your fault too. And that's the part that kills you quietly. Had I made her feel unseen? Had I stopped asking her how she was doing, what she was dreaming about, who she was becoming when I wasn't looking? Somewhere between tax seasons and grocery lists, maybe I stopped holding her the way she needed to be held. Maybe he noticed first. But he was my brother. That was the part one couldn't wrap my head around. Out of everyone, he knew what she meant to me. He toasted us at our wedding. He helped me pick out the ring. He laughed with me the night before I proposed, told me I was the luckiest man alive. And maybe he was right. Maybe I was lucky, until he decided to want what I had. I started noticing the way she flinched when I entered a room too quietly. The way she always kept her phone screen face down now. She thought I didn't notice. But betrayal makes you hyper-aware of glances, silences, time gaps. One night, 2 weeks after I mailed the letters, she asked me if I was okay. I told her I was fine. A little tired. She nodded. Me too, she said. She started sleeping facing away from me. I let her. There's a moment, and if you've been through this, you'll know what I mean. When you stop hoping for answers and start preparing for absence. I wasn't waiting for an apology anymore. I was just waiting for the right day to leave. But it wasn't easy. We had a life. Mortgage. Routines. The dog loved her more than he loved me. Friends who only knew us as Matt and Marissa. People who still thought we were happy. One night, I sat down and wrote a letter. Not to her. Not to him. To myself. Dear Matt, you're not crazy. You didn't imagine the distance. You didn't invent the coldness. You gave everything you had. You tried. And you were good. You were the man who picked her up in the rain, who built her shelves and remembered her coffee order, who forgave more than he probably should have. This isn't your failure, but it is your freedom. You don't need to rage. You don't need to beg. You just need to walk. When you're ready, walk. Love. The man you'll become. I folded it, put it in my wallet, and carried it for a month. Then, one evening, a cold, quiet Sunday, she told me she was going to visit her sister for the weekend. I nodded. She packed a small bag, hugged me at the door. When she left, I didn't chase her. I just stood there, alone in the house we once called home, and realized something that made my hands stop shaking. She didn't take the purse. The red leather one. It was still hanging on the hook, like she was daring me to look again. But I didn't. I already knew the truth. And sometimes, that's all the closure you get. She never brought up the letter. Neither did my brother. Not even after I sent it. It was like we'd all silently agreed to pretend it never happened. That's the strange thing about betrayal. Sometimes the wound is so deep, no one dares touch it. Not even the ones who caused it. 3 weeks after she left for her sister's, she still hadn't come back. She texted, said she needed space, said she was thinking. I didn't reply, not because I wanted to hurt her, but because I had nothing left to say that wouldn't sound like a question. And I already knew the answers. It was a Thursday when my brother finally showed up. He didn't call, just pulled into my driveway like he used to when we were kids, like nothing had changed. I saw him through the front window, hands in his pockets, that same stupid half grin he wore when he was about to lie to our parents. I opened the door, but didn't invite him in. We stood there. 2 men who used to be brothers. 2 strangers now. He cleared his throat. I guess you know. I didn't nod. Didn't move. He looked at the ground. It wasn't supposed to happen. That sentence. It stuck in my ribs like a splinter. It wasn't supposed to happen. Like love was some kind of accident. Like what they did was a trip on the stairs, not 1,000 choices stacked on top of each other. I finally spoke. I trusted you. Both of you. He winced. I didn't mean to hurt you. But he had. And he knew it. He shifted again. She said it's over. With me. Said she wants to fix things with you. I think that's what he came for. Not to apologize, not really. But to tell me he'd been discarded too. That he'd been used. That he was hurting. I didn't feel sorry for him. I just felt tired. I'm not fixing anything, I said. Some things don't get glued back together. They just stay broken. He didn't argue. Maybe because he knew I was right. He left without saying goodbye. I stood on the porch for a long time after that, watching the sky darken, listening to the wind move through the trees. When she finally came home the next evening, it was like watching a ghost step through the front door. She looked thinner, eyes heavy. Her voice was soft. I want to talk, she said. I let her. For an hour, she unraveled everything. The how, the when, the why. She cried. I didn't. She asked if we could try again. Said she made a mistake. That she still loved me. And maybe she did. Maybe she always did. But I didn't say yes. Because love without trust isn't love. It's a performance. And I was done acting. I moved out the next morning. Left the house, the keys, the red purse still hanging on the hook. A week later, I signed the papers. Quietly. No lawyers. No shouting. Just 2 signatures and the sound of a page turning. I saw my brother once more at our mother's birthday. He didn't speak to me. He brought a new girlfriend. She looked kind. I hope she never has to mail anything back to anyone. Sometimes, I still dream about the day I found that letter. Not the words, not the shock, just the weight of it in my hands. Like holding the truth before it explodes. I don't miss her. I miss the version of me who believed certain people would never hurt you. That kind of belief feels like innocence now. A thing I once had, like baby teeth or summer freckles. Gone. But what remains is this. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't destroy. I just handed them the mirror. Let them see themselves in it. And walked away.